If you are over the winter blues and you are ready to welcome in spring, today's episode is going to be perfect for you. I am making 3 chic farmhouse crafts that have a beautiful neutral farmhouse look to it, that have that high-end look, and we're going to do it on a Dollar Tree budget. Now let's make something beautiful for our homes. Our supplies are going to be this terracotta pot from the Dollar Tree, this little bird's nest that I get from Amazon, I'll link it down below, some foam, this egg that was originally a teal color but I spray painted it cream, it's from the Dollar Tree, and they're a set of 6 eggs that are colorful, a craft stick from the Dollar Tree, and then a little finial that I get from Hobby Lobby. I started by wetting my paintbrush with a lot of white paint, and I'm going to just roughly go around the pot splotchy as my paintbrush starts to dry because the paint is coming off. It is now going to allow me to get that weathered look. You can see that I splotched it around in those in-between spaces. That's where I'm blending in the paint. And I'm going to do that until I get all the way to the end of my paintbrush getting dry. And we're going to have the perfect farmhouse weathered looking pot. Once that's dried, we're going to go ahead and move on to the foam. I'm adding on E6000 first and then hot glue. The E6000 is going to bond better to the pot, but the hot glue will bond it temporarily. I'm going to take this craft stick, poke it through the nest, poke it down into the foam, and then I'm going to lift it up and glue it all together once I know that everything's going to fit on here nicely. Now this is not a normal craft project you would see. Why is there a stick coming out of the bird's nest? I just loved the way it looked, where it had this stick with a finial on top. I thought this was going to be so cute, a little bit different for decor, and it's going to look so beautiful next to a lamp in my sunroom. I just liked the way that it looked. I don't know. I thought it was cute. Maybe it's a little bit different for some people, but I like the way this looks. So you can leave the stick out if you don't like that idea. But I'm taking my egg. I'm going to use the tip of my hot glue to make the hole a little bit bigger. I want to get the glue inside the egg and then also all around the bottom of the egg. That's going to really lock it down into the nest. For the very top of the craft stick, after I've trimmed it down, I added a little dot of hot glue, and then I added glue inside of the finial topper. You can see here I'm letting it sit for a minute before I put it on, because when the hot glue is too hot, it's just going to run straight down that stick. If I let it cool for a second or two, it's going to allow it to bond nicely without everything dripping everywhere. Once that was glued on, I now can move on to dressing up the stick, and I'm going to just tie a darling sweet little white bow. This ribbon is from the Dollar Tree. Once I've gotten it to the length that I liked, I left the tails really long. I love that they were kind of coming down that pole, going into the nest. To finish the look, I added a tiny button that is green right in the middle of that bow. I am super excited to share this project today because I love making tiered trays. They are so expensive at stores, and you can get them for practically nothing making them yourself. We've got a stair rail that I pick up from a refurbished store here near me. We've got a wooden round sign, a wooden round bowl, both of those are from the Dollar Tree, and then the beaded rings. We're going to start with cutting down our stair rail, and once you get it to the height that you want, I wanted mine a little bit tall, we're going to put that to the side, and then we're going to take off the back screw little hanger hooks on the round sign and then all the stickers. I'm going to be using a countersink drill bit. This is so that the screw, when I put it in there, it's going to fit nicely and it's going to be flush with the wood, so it doesn't scratch any tables. And then I'm going to pre-drill a hole. Now on this wood tray that you can get in the Dollar Plus section, as well as that sign, because these are $3 each, I'm going to add on this wooden square to beef up the wood on the bottom of that round tray. It's a little bit thinner than I would like to be able to host things on the top of this because we're turning it into a tiered tray. I'm going to beef it up just a little bit so it can make it a little bit stronger. And then I pre-drilled a hole. Going back over to our stair rail, we're going to pre-drill holes as well on both sides of the stair rail stem. And the reason why we're doing this is because we don't want anything to splinter. Pre-drilling a hole allows the screw to go in nicely without it having any issues. I use a smaller drill bit, smaller than the screw, so that way it still catches when I put a screw in, but it doesn't splinter anything. Then on the sides of that bowl, I'm going to drill 2 holes with a larger drill bit. I'm going to tap off all the dust. You can see they're on opposite sides, and now we can start assembling. Drilling the holes maybe takes, I don't know, like 5 minutes. I think the most time is just cutting the stair rail, but if you have a scroll saw, you can do that, or any kind of saw at all, or you can just use a miter box, which is what I did. I'm now going to start that screw, twist on the stair rail, and then finish it up with the drill. Friends, I know that this might look intimidating for new crafters, but this is so easy to make. Like seriously, tops it took me to assemble the whole thing was about 10 minutes, and that's because it took me about 5 minutes to cut the stair rail with my miter box. I like to make sure I get a nice clean cut. Now you can see I'm using wood glue to make sure everything is locking in nicely. I really try to teach here on my channel, glue matters. Use the right glues that are with certain materials so things lock in and bond well together. Now I'm putting on the top of my tray, and I'm just going to take my time. I don't like to force anything in because it can, again, cause things to splinter or crack or just go on crooked. So I'm just taking my time locking that in. Once it's in a spot that I think it looks good and everything's straight, I now can move on to the top part of the tray. This part, when I saw these wooden bead rings, wreath rings, whatever you want to call these, when I saw these, I knew that this would make the most beautiful handle for a tiered tray. These kind of tiered trays sell at Hobby Lobby and Amazon and Target. These things sell for $50 to $100 depending on how big they are. The size that we're making it, I would say you probably get this thing for about 70 bucks. I've seen these priced for that. And basically we're making it for, probably like $10. Probably a little bit less than that. But if you bought everything from scratch, my stair rails that I get, like I said, I go to a local Habitat for Humanity type store, and I pick them up for like $1 each, sometimes 50 cents, depending if they have sales. Now I'm going to cut apart that wire. I trimmed it down some, and I'm going to twist that wire as tightly as I can get it, so that way this handle is going to stand up nice and strong without it flopping over to the side. The tighter you twist the wire, the better it's going to stand up. I twisted both sides, and now we're going to move on to painting. I gave it all 2 coats of white paint. I wanted to make sure it still has that chic farmhouse look, so I'm going to come back in with a little bit of distressing. I've got a coal gray and brown that I just mixed together. I'm dry brushing in some spots, and then I'm going to sand it just ever so slightly in some areas that I think it would make it look farmhouse. Once I've got that done, and by the way, you can paint these whatever color you want. But once I got that done, because I have this long neck on this tiered tray, I thought how cool it would be to tie a bow on this, because I love bows. And I could switch this bow out to whatever season I want. So because it's this white neutral color, I can switch the bow and make it year-round usable for parties, for little trinkets that I keep by my front door, whatever it is, maybe for jewelry. This can be used for so many things. This project is so easy. We're going to take 2 styrofoam balls. This sign that I found in the home decor section, we're using it because I want the base. This darling Easter sign, and then some florals. All of these supplies are from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to start by cutting down this edge of the sign because we're going to mount this bunny trail farm onto this for a base to help it stand upright. I want to show that you don't always have to just only hang up these signs when you find them at the Dollar Tree. You can turn them into table topping decor pieces. So I'm just going to cut down these pieces, and I could have made that base, but why when it's only $1.25 and it's so easy doing it this way. So I'm going to just glue these two pieces together. So now instead of only being able to hang up the sign, I now can put it anywhere on a table. I'm going to use these large clamps that I get from the craft section. I'm just going to clip those into place so that way everything is going to lock in together nice and tight. And now we're going to move on to the foam. I'm simply taking this ball and I'm going to just chop it all up and put it at the base. I'm using that instead of a big foam square because I had these on hand, but whatever foam you have, basically put it at the bottom of the sign, and it's just to dress it up. Now, if you don't want to dress it up and you just want to have that black base, that's really pretty too. It's up to you and what you want to do, how much you want to go with the greenery or not. Either you can copy it exactly how I'm doing it or just make it your own. That's the fun part about crafting. We get to share and then make it our own for our homes. Now I'm going to take these two greenery picks that I found at the Dollar Tree. I love these two picks. I've been using them a lot and I will throughout this whole year. I love these two picks. I cut them down, poked them into the foam to create this beautiful garden, and then I'm going to come in with 3 white roses. Technically, roses don't start blooming until the end of spring going into the beginning of summer. But unless people are gardeners, they're not going to know that. I really love gardening, so sometimes I like sharing those little things on here. Now we're going to cover up those holes with some half wooden beads and a little bow on the basket. I thought it would be sweet to add a little white bow to finish the look. I hope that these projects helped lift a little bit of those winter blues. It is so cloudy here in Missouri today, and I really needed some inspiration to just warm my heart. These projects are so fun to make and on a crafter's budget, which is my favorite combo. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below to let me know which one you like, which one you think you will try. And I'm going to recommend this video right here if you missed it. I posted it just a couple days ago. Thanks so much for stopping in and visiting with me in my craft room, and until the next episode, bye friends.